In this video, we're going to talk about what Patrick Bet-David taught me. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video when I tie his entire story together and paint an awesome picture. Welcome back to another episode of Gulf Coast Investing, where we talk about all things investing right here on the Gulf Coast. My name is Casey, and I would love if you would like this video and consider subscribing to my channel for more great content just like this. So in this video, we're talking about Patrick Bet-David. So I had an awesome video a couple weeks ago talking about what Gary Vee taught me. Had real cool outreach and things like that from it, so I thought, well, let me break down some other people that I have learned from and been watching on YouTube and reading their books and things like that along the way. So if you don't know Patrick Bet-David, or PBD as people know him and call him, he came from war-torn Iran back many years ago when he was a kid. Literally has built himself, he knew no English, so bad that when he got out of high school he went into the military. So had to literally work his way up from the bottom of the bottom of the bottom in America. Work his way all the way up to what he is today, where he sold his insurance company for multiple millions of figures of dollars. So if you haven't watched him, I would suggest that you would watch his videos and his YouTube channels and read his book and things like that, which is Your Next 5 Moves. So I just got done reading that a couple weeks ago. Awesome video. So wanted to break down 3 of the points that I've learned from watching and seeing literally what he's been doing. So the first point is you can come from anywhere. So I love hearing that. I love that whole idea of no matter where you start from, you can make it. So back to Gary Vee, he always says if you can find one person that has ever been in your scenario, in your situation, that made it to where you want to be, then you can do it too. There's no excuses why you can't do it. So, Patrick Bet-David, again, like I talked about, he comes from a war-torn Iran, literally comes to America, doesn't know English, has to join the military, and that's literally his start of his first 20 plus years of his life. Literally has no money. He talks about being broke, living on couches, things like that. Literally started from nowhere, and now he has built a media empire, an insurance empire. In my opinion, he's one of the best, if not the best, interviewers in the world. It is just real cool. We'll get into that later, some of the people that he's interviewed, and I just think it's awesome. So again, that whole idea, if anybody has ever come from your situation and made it in the world, then you can too. He literally says you can come from anywhere, no matter where you're at. He can make it, you can make it as well. That's one cool thing that Patrick Bet-David and Gary Vee have in common. They both moved from war-torn cities or war-torn countries when they were kids, knowing no English, and literally have become, just awesome, amazing people and business leaders in this day's world. So the second thing that Patrick Bet-David taught me was to know your options. So he has this awesome story where he was working for another insurance company when he was out of the military and things like that. And again, I don't want to mess parts of his story up, but from what I've heard from him and all that, wasn't real happy. He actually went to them with a deal that was going to make them a lot of money. Was it going to make him a lot of money and make him the highest paid person in that company? Yeah, it was, or the highest paid agent at least, it was. But it would have brought the company a huge deal. And all this contracts and all that. So has a disagreement and figures, hey, I know my options. I'll go do this for myself. So you may be in that situation where you're working for a company or whatever it is, and you're like, hey, I could take the leap and do this myself. Know your options. Also know, hey, if I love my career at this job, doing this in this field of work, I might have another option to go do the same thing for twice the amount of money at a different company. So always be looking and knowing your options and things like that. Because he was keeping his head on a swivel, knowing his options, he starts his own insurance company, and literally takes that entire deal that he was working. Now he gets 100% of the profits. What's so cool from that, he tells the story when he got into the insurance industry. The average insurance agent was like a 65-year-old or 60-year-old white male. Well, he saw the increasing population of foreigners and Hispanics moving into the country, and he was like, "Well, we need somebody to go out and reach that market." Well, he was looking at options. He was looking at what options, where are these opportunities that I can go grow a business. And I think he ended up, by the time he was selling his company, his average agent was a 35-year-old Latino female. So literally the complete opposite of what was the standard industry. He looked for the details, he looked for the deals, and went out and made it happen because he knew his options. Hey, I could work for this, or I could do it myself. And I think that's just awesome. So make sure that you know your options. So the third and final point of what Patrick Bet-David taught me is to trust your gut and always go with your instincts. So literally through some of the stories that I've told, you can see how he trusted his gut. He trusted his gut. His family trusted his gut, which I think is so awesome. When his dad moved him from war-torn Iran to the United States, he always talks about how he wants to make his dad's name known, which I think is real cool because it's also his name. The Bet-David last name is his name, but it's obviously his dad's last name. He wants to make his dad's last name and legacy known because his dad took a step out there, took his neck out there, got his family out of that, war-torn area and to America. He trusted his gut, he went with his instincts, and now he has helped his family out. So same for him. Then he comes through it, he trusts his gut, he joins the military, he gets into the insurance industry right when the insurance and banking world is collapsing, and then he trusts his gut when he leaves his job and he starts his own company. He always trusts his instincts. So tying kind of it all back together, his next steps over the next couple years after starting his insurance industry, he decides that he wants to start what is now today Valuetainment. So Valuetainment is his entertainment industry empire that is mainly hosted over on YouTube, where he has literally brought some of the most value of anybody that I have watched. So he literally trusted his gut when people were telling him, hey, YouTube's not going to work out. This was 15 years ago when the internet was new and things like that. It was way before podcasting, but he was podcasting. He trusted his gut and his instincts. He saw what was happening. And the cool thing is, because he's done that, I've literally watched interviews where he's interviewed mafia bosses. He's literally sitting across, right across the table from mafia hitmen and people that have done all kind of crazy stuff. And some of the craziest stories, most famous people, presidents, every influencer you could think of, every business leader you could think of, everybody literally he has provided value and done interviews with and podcasts with, and he has gained so much knowledge. And I say it's because he trusted his gut and he trusted his instincts. And it's just amazing of the knowledge that he knows now. And just, same as Joe Rogan, when you do so many interviews, you literally have endless knowledge. And he's done so much in the business, in the banking, in the insurance world, again, in the mob world, all this kind of stuff. It's just awesome to see how far he's come, literally because he's trusted his gut, he's trusted his instincts, and he's done what's best for him. So again, his story truly inspires me. I love watching his stuff. That's why I wanted to make a video dedicated to what Patrick Bet-David taught me, with the overall, the arcing overall, thing of trust your gut, trust your instincts, go for it. You can come from anywhere. It doesn't matter where you've come from. It doesn't matter what you've gone through. You can dig yourself out. It takes hard work. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of dedication, and it takes you knowing that you're on the right path and that you're doing what's best for you. But go for it, do it. Make sure you check him out, give him a follow, give him a like at Valuetainment, Patrick Bet-David. I know he doesn't need the followers because he's got it himself, but always love shouting out people that I see and look up to and things like that. So hope that gives you some inspiration to go for it. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week.